I'm saying? Mr. Cowboy in the video with another video. Hey, read with me. Documentary of hardest gang town, the Northwest BOD St. Louis documentary. I could tell some more facts because I'm from St. Louis and I know about the BODs and they on the west side of St. Louis. I sneeze, so bless me. I just get into this video requested by
gangland.
St. Louis, Missouri sits on the banks of the mighty Mississippi River. Its famed Gateway Arch marks the symbolic entrance to the American West. St. Louis isn't large, ranking 52nd among U.S. cities in size. But its murder rate is among the highest in America. And on its northwest side, gang warfare is common.
We have a high murder rate for this city. So somebody's always trying some monkey shit all the time. Somebody gets up, somebody gets killed, somebody gets shot.
That's where I'm also from, right there. We see this police car
all the time. Somebody gets up.
It's in Berkeley right here. See, Berkeley. Some of the first Bloods and Crips settled here back in the mid 80s, early 80s. This is Frostwood. This is Frostwood store right here. This is where I'm from, Frostwood. Just a neighborhood, not the neighborhood, family oriented. You know what I'm saying? A lot of family neighborhood.
Up, somebody gets killed, somebody gets shot.
Anything can happen. This is the inner city of St. Louis. You can get killed by your own friend down here. There ain't no such thing as a friend down here. You got a family and you got who you grew up with, that's about it.
There are as many as 10,000 gangbangers in St. Louis, which is 1 in every 35 people. The bloodiest conflicts among gangs are those between rival factions, where red battles blue, and the dividing lines are drawn. In the 314, that line is...
Nah, that line not true. Because there's Bloods right here. But yeah, this is not the full map of St. Louis. This is North County. This is north side. This is north side. This is like the west side. Well, it's really all northwest. This is Bloods right here, man. This is BOD is the light right here. The Bloods and Crips on. It's mostly Bloods over this side. Horseshoe is mostly the west side. You know what I'm saying? It's mostly Blood when you go far. It's all Crips on this side. I don't know what kind of map this is. This is horrible, but it's Bloods right here. Purge. You know what I'm saying? All Blood. Crip City Blood. Crips. It's pretty the same in St. Louis County, St. Louis City. But I don't know what map is showing. This map is accurate.
Martin Luther King Drive.
It's like the line you don't cross. If you go into his backyard, then you in enemy territory, and he come across the alley to your backyard, they in enemy territory.
The southwest side belongs to the Boys of Destruction.
No, it doesn't. Southwest side never belonged to the Boys of Destructions.
Or BOD.
The Boys of Destruction were probably the most organized and deadliest group that was out there.
We the BODs, we the Boys of Destruction. We destructed everything we touched.
Piper asked to have his identity concealed. A BOD since the early 1980s, he's one of the gang's founding members and a respected leader. He describes a childhood scarred by gang violence.
I went through a lot of changes and things that I don't think I would have went through as a regular kid, then get into a gang and change to fights, stabbings, guns.
Piper knows firsthand how powerful the allure of gang life can be.
You got guys that will shoot, rob. They'll do anything just to be down to try to seem like they cool. Or they'll do anything possible you imagine to be down with you.
The BOD's fiercest rival, the Horseshoe Posse, runs the northeast side of MLK Drive.
It's always been the Horseshoe. For years, this goes back over 30 years. So it always been this, even before, you know what I mean?
In bigger cities, there are places to hide from your enemies. That's not the case in the Lou.
St. Louis, your enemy is right across the alley. They don't need no car. All they have to do is get the guns and bullets and walk around the corner.
Our town is smaller. All the players know each other. It's like you can't over me, and I'm not see you, was for sure. We'll see you again, we'll bump heads again. That's what makes it real dangerous.
Sanchez Smotherman, known as Psych, is a leader in the Horseshoe Posse.
I've been questioned for murders. I got a reputation for being a tough guy, for setting examples on people who thought I did play. Like when the dog go piss on the tree, he leaves his scent right there. So I was infamous for leaving my mark.
Dead man's on, man. Don't come around here playing. You get killed around, you won't make it out of here.
Sanchez was the major figure in Horseshoe Posse. He was one of the Horseshoe pushers. People that represent their block real tough, and they do whatever they have to do for their block. People know that he's from the Horseshoe. Them guys you shouldn't mess with.
The Horseshoe is a loop formed by 3 one-way streets.
Posse goes back to the cowboy days. I mean, like when they ride in town.
The Horseshoe got demolished in like 2015 though. It's not there no more. You see, it's something like the pollution with the area. It's like causing cancers.
Posse's coming. So for the simple fact that, you know, our street is shaped like a horseshoe, it's a group of dudes standing around this neighborhood. We just stick the two together.
But to unwelcome visitors, it's a dead end, especially for the boys of destruction. In this ruthless environment, the top dogs are known to all. The most notorious member of BOD, Dorsey Brandon, known simply by his first name. Most gang members use an alias on the streets to conceal their identity from police. Dorsey didn't deem it necessary to hide.
Dorsey would admit it. You know what I do. I can hear him saying that now. You know what I do. I just ain't doing it now.
Dorsey's reputation for lawless brutality has made him a legend in St. Louis.
Dorsey, because of his propensity for violence, you know, his nature, his temper, it was short. He had a real quick fuse.
Dorsey's life was always violent. He was 14 when he was shot for the first time.
A couple months after that, when he was still healing up, the police called him on the corner and they stomped him and like dug their fingers in the holes in his chest and all that.
He was not no egotistical person. He was just being himself. You know, you got some guys looking, you know, that like the glory and the fame, and I want this image. And he was just being plain old himself.
Raymond Dixon, aka Rainbow, is Dorsey's brother. The nickname came from the colorful striped shirts he liked to wear. Now he wears prison gray, thanks to the BODs.
You know, I couldn't be nothing but in the midst of things. You know, this is my family.
At 6'3", Dorsey towered over everyone, not just because he was tall.
He was pick you up and slam you like, you know, get on, it's over with. And, you know, not to glorify it, but that was him, you know.
To me, he was the craziest dude alive. But he took care of everybody because he made us who he was.
He was extreme, but to him, it probably, look, I'm protecting my loved ones.
When Dorsey was hit, he would hit back. And it took one burst of gunfire for him to declare war on the Horseshoe Posse. October 1991. It was a warm night, and Dorsey was hanging out on a friend's front porch, just a few blocks from the rival gang's turf. Suddenly, a car pulled up, and two men with 9mm opened fire.
He was in the wrong place at the wrong time on the wrong block. There's no telling what Dorsey gave them before that.
Dorsey dove into his car as the shooters sprayed the vehicle with bullets. He was hit 7 times in the chest.
Prayers went out, hoping he
Boy, want to live that life, boy. You don't want to live that life, boy. You gonna feel them bullets first. It's gonna feel like a kick hit you, it set you back. Once that bullet start cooling off on you, boy, you gonna start hurting, boy. You don't want that, bro. Go get some, go grind, go do something productive like I'm doing right now, bro. Even if it don't make you money the first day. You should begin. Bless me and bless you. Bless God. Bless me. Thank you, God, for blessing me. You bless me. I don't got nobody here to say bless you, so yeah. But back to what I was saying, man. And go do something productive. It don't matter if they give you money the first day, man. Keep grinding so it can give you money, get you revenue, man. Put you on the algorithm, bro. Or anything, bro. You gotta keep grinding, gotta keep showing out there, man. Keep posting, keep putting hashtags on the video so people see it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Keep on putting it on recommend you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes then once you get your money straight, also get you a job too on the side. You know what I'm saying? Or apply for some job applications. Job on the side so you got some money on the side so you can invest so you can go farther. You know what I'm saying? I invest, but I gotta get another job, and I also got some other shit coming up. You know what I'm saying? I can't really speak on right now, which I gonna see, cause you know. What shot got going on, but got that right there, man. I'm gonna have, you know, I said, surveys, you know what I'm saying, do what I gotta do, though. You know what I'm saying, do what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying. I said, man, real deal.
You know, we don't lose.
No join games either, bro. Games ain't nothing. It ain't nothing into games, bro. Don't join games, bro. I'm just so y'all know, don't join games. You can fake like you a blood and crip. But don't join no street games. Don't join the street. Don't get into the street. Nothing, bro. Just keep grinding, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Just keep grinding. This shit ain't worth it, bro. You kill each other for what? A block. Man, don't kill each other over no block, man. Go own the block. Go own the neighborhood. Go own the city. Go run for government. Bring stuff to the youth. Show the youth how we can do it. We got so many successful blacks out here, and we need many more. I'm gonna be niggas. And then gonna be many more niggas successful blacks. For real, man.
Losing.
Dorsey survived, barely.
It don't take you rich to be successful either. I want to be rich and successful and wealthy. Man, successful is something that you could just do. Go, you be successful at bringing the youth up. That's success, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing you, but I want to be wealthy, rich. That's one of my successful goals. That I want to be success, wealthy, rich, have a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Show people that you don't have to do this certain thing to be certain point. Show people how you can around and motivate people into being into things. You know what I'm saying? I'm motivating myself. You don't got nobody got to motivate, but You know what I'm saying? Some people like being motivated by other people. That's what they want to prefer. I get motivated myself. I motivate myself. I see stuff on, you know what I'm saying? I Google, I put stuff in my notebook that I want. If I want a car, I want that, get that car. If I'm motivating myself to get that car, lay it on down my life, you know what I'm saying? But I'm finally successful and wealthy and rich. And I got my stuff, everything going on good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just gonna see this vision, bro. I can't really speak. I'm gonna just show action, bro. I'm not speaking on the vision no more. I gotta go show action, bro. Facts.
It could have been just another drive-by shooting on the streets of St. Louis. Except for one thing, the shooters picked the wrong target.
He was well known for using his weapon. He was a pretty quick with his gun and anger.
Yeah, he had a temper. I didn't see him give many people passes when, you know, he had them down bad. Like, don't let him go.
Dorsey didn't know who had pulled the trigger, but he was ready to take out any Horseshoe Posse members he saw.
The violence had escalated to an epidemic portion, and that's when everything exploded.
Just the city was in chaos. It was crazy. People started going to jail, people started getting killed.
St. Louis. It's known as the Hustle City, the STL. The name comes from the criminal hustlers who call it home, including a violent gang known as the Boys of Destruction, or BOD.
Anybody can get it. Anybody in there, anybody, everybody. Ain't no exclusion. Ain't no kids excluded, women. If you get caught in the middle of that, that's just it.
Man, we ain't got a high murder rate for nothing. Do not, I repeat, do not come down here with that monkey shit, man. Your ass gonna leave out of here.
St. Louis used to be one of the shining jewels in the United States and was host to the 1904 Olympic Games. In the early part of the 20th century, St. Louis was one of the busiest ports on the Mississippi and the fourth largest city in the U.S. So prominent that it also hosted the World's Fair. As the city boomed,
But then, like St. Louis County, St. Louis City, St. Louis was very small back then. It was really small too, but it was just a population to like 1 million people that lived in the city. That's when St. Louis County, St. Louis City was one area. You know what I'm saying? Because St. Louis County is St. Louis too. You know what I'm saying? So if you combine St. Louis County, St. Louis City today, it won't be fourth largest or 10th. It'll still be pretty small. But there's only 900 people, 900,000 people in the county, and like 300,000. So it would be a lot. One area, Chicago got more than the whole. Like, it's pretty crazy. The whole metro area is pretty much. Chicago got more people than the whole metro area. St. Louis.
so did
It's like damn, like pretty small.
violent gangs.
We had the Roach.
St. Louis Metro is a five-state metro, but the only part of real St. Louis, Missouri, is St. Louis County, St. Louis City.
Guards and the Pug Uglies, and those were German and Polish gangs, and kind of strange that they identify with the red and blue too.
There were also the Pillow Gang and Egan's Rats. These gangs held up dozens of banks in the early
You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people don't speak about the white gangs. White gangs was here before the black gangs. Like these Egan gangs, I heard about these. They was causing trouble. They was raising the crime all through the 1990s and shit. You know, through the city, St. Louis County. Yeah.
20s, getting away with as much as $4 million. The proceeds paid for weapons that led to open gun battles in the streets of St. Louis. Following World War II, families left the inner city. Industries left, and the economy dried up.
We had tons of manufacturing places, many places where people could make an honest, good buck and survive and pay house notes and buy cars and so on. But those industries dried up, and many who had those jobs kind of moved towards another community.
The gateway city that once boasted 800,000 people now held just 350,000.
So we've lost over 60% of our population. The middle class is gone. The loss of population, it created an environment that builds and cultivates the crime.
The downtown area was hit especially hard as neighborhoods descended into poverty and drugs.
Around the mid-70s, that was the introduction of heroin to our community. And when those guys began to distribute heroin, then the decline of the community really started.
Dorsey Brandon was born into this chaotic environment in 1973. He was barely a teen in the mid-1980s when he joined a crew called the Boys of Destruction. In the beginning, the BODs were breakdancers whose only battles were about who broke the hardest. Piper, a BOD member, was one of Dorsey's best friends.
Yeah, it was a competition. It was real competitive because the best breakdancers had the girls, and you walk around with your big boom boxes and ride through the neighborhood and just do your thing when you get there.
You go and have a dance competition. I mean, it's like spinning on your heads and who can do the best hip-hop dances and stuff. And then, you know, everybody said, we're the best, and they growling about it.
BOD sometimes took on other meanings.
Brothers over there. At one time, they was saying brothers of Dorsey. You know, it get personal with certain individuals.
The BODs often battled the Horseshoe Posse. The two gangs attended the same grade schools and played in the same parks.
We all click-clack together, so to speak. Just like a bullet going into the shell. It fits, everything fits together, and you hear the sound. Clack, clack. That's, everything's together.
Despite the occasional fistfight, the gangs showed each other respect.
You just go to same clubs together, you know. Everybody was associated. It was good, you know. We stood it out. We stuck together.
The BOD's leader, Dorsey, wanted more. He wasn't satisfied with just running a break-in crew.
He was always the neighborhood bad guy. He pretty much made other guys tough guys too.
And Dorsey Brandon was a kid that developed into a very violent kid. He was known for being a hot boy. He was respectful to the police, but he would cause havoc on the street with the citizens and other rival gang members. You know, he could be notorious with enemy gang members.
By 1986, Dorsey saw an opportunity to start making green. The country's crack cocaine epidemic had hit the 314 hard, and Dorsey led his crew into the drug dealing business. Almost immediately, they started living up to their destructive name.
The Boys of the Destruction at that time were clearly very organized and very deadly, and they were very violent.
You got people that usually didn't have nothing growing up, but when the crack came, they had something. So it kind of put an unbalance in everything, and everything just went chaos.
Dorsey's younger brother, Rainbow, was happy to follow his brother's lead.
There from day one, you know, I just wanted to follow in my brother's footsteps.
BOD soon began to attract national attention. The super gangs in LA started keeping tabs on St. Louis as the drug business there became more profitable.
Say, for instance, California, a kilo of cocaine was going for $12,000. By coming to St. Louis, you can automate that same kilo's worth 30,000.
The LA gangs wanted a piece of the action. Then, street by street, they supplied drugs to the locals who ruled those corners, including the BOD.
Might send some of the day ones I know. Humberton, County, see, Crips and Bloods came in St. Louis like in the early 80s, like 1983, 1982. They started spreading all through the county. Then they came to the city back in like 1987, 1986. So they've been here for a while. And some of them are family ties. And some of them still live in St. Louis to this day. Some of them got shipped back to St. Louis. Yeah, I'm not shipped back to LA. So yeah, really.
This new gang culture exploded in April 1988 when the gang-banging movie Colors hit theaters.
The Colors movies, it influenced something like St. Louis, but not for real. It influenced a little part of St. Louis, but not the whole St. Louis for real. People was already banging way before Colors came out. People was banging way before Colors even came out for real. St. Louis. He was already banging way before Colors even came out. Check out this video next, man.
Its depiction of LA's warring Crips and Bloods inspired local gangs to take up sides.
It hit St. Louis like a windstorm, a snowstorm, a blizzard out of nowhere. Overnight, different neighborhood groups that already existed were adopting Crip and Blood identities.
This is what we're gonna leave off today. I'm sorry doing part ones, part twos. This is what we're gonna leave off today for this video. Catch y'all in another video, man. Salute, man.